Okay.
Okay.
Woo.
All right.
Okay. Little technical thing.
Well, I
Welcome to
didn't
the show.
expect that.
Give a shout out to Drapsnat. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And Alicidra. Welcome back.
Procedure.
Actually, they've been here like the last 3 or 4 or 5 shows right now, right? Yeah, 3?
Yes.
3
Yeah.
this season, and we've seen them before, right?
I think so. I think so.
Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you coming on by. Anything happened to you today?
Wow. I should ask you. Has anything happened to you today? You had a mug mishap right before the show.
Well, yeah, I decided to make some hot tea, and my mug just was not cooperating.
I have some not safe for work mugs, and one of them is a heat mug that you can't tell it's not safe for work until
It's
it
not
heats
safe.
up.
Yeah.
And you picked that out of all the mugs.
I was gonna just say technical difficulty, but yeah.
No, I think it's all right. I think that
We had it was a good laugh, I guess.
it
but
was,
yeah, for sure.
and then somehow you picked another heat mug.
I know. So now I'm like supporting something I don't know if we can actually support.
I don't know if we can say that.
Well, I don't think they can actually see it anyway, but it's really good tea.
It is. It's what tea do you have anyway?
It's like a honey turmeric
So you did find the honey?
tea. Oh no. It's a flavor, honey flavor.
Oh, okay.
But
say,
I
I-
put honey in it, and so
Yeah.
I broke down and just got good old fashioned white sugar. Yeah, because brown sugar would have been weird. Yeah. Oh, welcome to the show, some Sav.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for watching. You're just in time. Oh, and one Ella, or one Ella.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ella.
Today you're just up for National Day. You want to start out with the first one because I know it's your favorite.
The first one's pretty good. The first one is a National Pizza Day.
It is National Pizza Day, and you know when I found out it was National Pizza Day?
When?
So when you do you have like an Amazon enabled device? I'm trying to think of which one's close by. Yeah.
Yes, I do have one of those devices.
I do have one of those devices. Well, when you call her by her name and she lights up with the blue ring,
Yes.
I say good morning,
Yep.
and she'll give you one of like 10 random facts of the morning.
Okay.
And today was National Pizza Day. I forget exactly what she said because I was half asleep.
Interesting.
But sometimes I say good morning more than once, and you'll get like different answers now, and it's kind of fun.
Oh, hey, at least she's got variety.
Yeah. It didn't used to be that way. There only used to be one, and if you got a good
Nope.
one, you could call your friend and say, "Hey, say good morning." And so I said good morning, and then someone called me one day and said, "Hey, say good morning," and I did, and it was like, that was weird. That has nothing to do with anything. And then they were like, "Did you hear it?" I was like, "Yeah, I was talking about like the space shuttle." And they're like, "No, it wasn't. It was talking about like it was talking about Wisconsin."
It was talking about Wisconsin. What do you mean, dude? It was talking about space.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of something completely unrelated, it's also National Cut the Cord Day.
Which is, I didn't know about it.
I thought it was like an umbilical cord
That's
thing.
what I thought too. I thought umbilical cord.
I'm not gonna lie, but it's actually cut your cable.
Which is a thing that a good majority of people nowadays might not know about.
Yeah, so basically you call up your cable company and you say, "We don't like you anymore. We prefer watching the good news that we can stream on Twitch."
Very much.
Yeah.
Free.
So it switches to internet-based TV versus traditional,
Corded
cable
TV.
/ aerial antenna or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also National Giving Hearts Day, which
What
is the
is-
second Thursday of the month.
What is National Giving Hearts Day?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because Big Hearts give big on National Giving Hearts Day. On the second Thursday in February each year, the celebration offers one of the best opportunities to donate to your favorite charity. Not only that, this is the longest running giving day in the United States. So many hearts and so much to give. Oh, so many hearts. So many hearts.
So many hearts. Everyone, give your heart.
Yeah. Did you see, I was just talking about Lethal Weapon with a friend. Did you see any of the Lethal Weapon movies? In one of the Lethal Weapon movies, Mel Gibson knows that Danny Glover's daughter is marrying or getting ready to marry a cop.
Okay.
And Danny Glover doesn't. The number one thing he doesn't want his daughter to do is to marry a cop.
Okay.
And so he knows, but Danny Glover doesn't know. And so he throws out like these weird things throughout the movie. And one of them was like, because he knows who the kid is, and the kid's going around and like sucking up and everything. And he goes, "You should treat him like a son in law enforcement."
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he pick up on it?
No. I mean, later on when they did the Uncle Benny.
That's Mel Gibson.
Uncle Benny when they're taking the laughing gas and they're all laughing. Okay. Anyway, so it's National Giving Hearts Day. It's also National Bagel and Lox Day. If you're interested in having bagel and raw salmon.
I to be honest, I don't know if it's raw salmon. I've never had it.
I feel like it's raw salmon.
I say every time I see it, it just looks like salmon. Cut
I think it's
really
bagel,
thin.
cream cheese, and salmon.
Looks like they got like some onions on it too.
Yeah.
That actually sounds amazing.
It's also National Toothache Day.
No cavity. I'm doing great. You ever had a cavity?
How do you celebrate this day? Ow.
I don't know. Good. That's actually. Wait, hold on.
Wait, here, punch me in the face real quick.
That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, you get punched in the jaw.
National Toothache Day on February 9th is a not so subtle reminder of the importance of dental care, also known as, I think that's supposed to be
Odontology?
odontalgia. A toothache is pain generated from a tooth or multiple teeth.
Never had a cavity. I want to know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's National Toothache Day. I think you celebrate it by not having a toothache.
I think so.
Maybe brush an extra time today, I guess.
Which has reminded me, I think I have a dentist appointment tomorrow.
I think I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. You should keep that up.
I really should. I really need to pay attention.
Yeah. Give a shout out to Kata. I think we probably mispronounce this name wrong all the time. So if you can
That's actually the biggest thing.
Okay.
The floss.
So I just saw some salve. Hey, it's been rough, cold, so I'm excited for some good news. Yay! And floss. Yeah. So celebrate
That's
by
what they
flossing.
always get me on. It's always the floss, and they're like, "You're not flossing hard enough." Like, your brushing is fine. I'm glad you're using.
I have the
your
dentist
mouthwash.
always ask me,
Floss.
"Are you flossing?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
No, my dentist doesn't do anything. She just goes, "You're not flossing. Don't lie to me. I know it. You need to floss."
You should say, "I floss twice a year
Yeah.
when you do it."
Yeah, exactly.
You do it.
Like,
When you do it for me.
At my last dentist appointment, she asked me. She goes, "How often do you floss?" And I just asked her, "How often do I come here?"
Yeah. When was the last time?
Yeah. When was the last time?
Can you tell me when my last appointment was? It was last February. That's what I did the last time. Well, actually, you did it.
Yeah, right.
Or
I don't even floss. It's great.
your hygienist. Okay. Anything you want to add? No? Yeah? Were you wearing this earlier or no? No, you
Flannel? It's cold.
It is cold.
I put it on because it was cold.
You know what? I got some hot tea. That was what was kind of nice about.
And it would only suck if it would be even hotter if it was in its original mug. So here's my question.
So, go ahead.
It's National Pizza Day.
National Pizza Day.
What's your go-to pizza?
I'm a simple cheese and sausage type of a person. And everybody else in my life is a pepperoni.
No, cheese and sausage is pretty good. Pepperoni's all right, but I have a firm belief that you need variety.
Got it. Well, I'm a simple cheese and sausage, although I typically will eat whatever pizza's available.
Yeah,
and literally, the only thing I think I don't like on pizza is if it has I have a cheese thing, so I don't eat multiple cheeses. Or just anchovies, I can't do that. I've tried.
I haven't, and I don't want to.
When someone picks out their goldfish, they put on the thing, and I look at it, and I'm thinking to myself,
pizza.
And I know people who eat sardines, too, right out of the can. My grandpa used to do that.
My father has done that.
Nope.
My father
I
has
can't.
done
And you
that,
look
I'm
at it,
pretty
and you
sure.
look at them, and they're just, staring at you. And you just pick them up, and, I'm sorry, that's like that big witch lady in the Little Mermaid where she's eating all the no.
My
No.
father at one point in time, it's sardines that come in the square can that you roll back, right?
Yeah.
My father at one point in time, I remember opening up his cabinet. He had to have like 40, maybe 50 of those cans because he had bought them in bulk at Costco because they were cheap. And he had just been eating these, and I think he had already eaten like 100 of them.
No. Mm-mm. Okay. Well, if and when a National Sardines
Yeah.
comes up,
Shout out my dad.
I'm skipping it.
Shout out my dad.
We'll just skip
if
over it.
sardines come up.
We'll glaze over it. Okay. Let's see here. Am I missing anybody? No. Okay.
It's like we're all set.
We're all set. We'll go ahead and get on to the good news part of the program. I'm actually kind of excited.
Yeah.
So my first article, I was so excited. I try to keep them secret. You know what I mean? So nobody knows.
I certainly don't.
I don't want to like ruin it by telling everybody the story before I tell it. But like this one, somebody sent to me, and it was just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're a dog person, yeah?
I am.
I feel like you sleep with a dog, yes?
With or without choice.
They're just, I think
You know,
everybody
they're
should.
there.
Yeah.
They're there.
There's a long-standing joke. It was like, if you want to know what real love is, take your girlfriend or wife, whatever, lock them up in the trunk with your dog, and come back in an hour and see which one's happy to see you. And it's always the dog. Every time.
Every time.
So, this article is about a dog. In fact, the world's oldest dog ever. And I feel like his name is Bobi. B-O-B-I. How would you pronounce that? Bobby or Bobi?
Bobi.
This is the guy right here.
This man, that's Bobi.
That's Bobi. Big Bobi.
Big Bobi.
Big Bobi. Bobi takes the Guinness World Record at 30 years old. And I'm going to mess up this dog's breed.
He looks pretty good for
Looks
30 years
like
old.
He is. Yes. A dog in Portugal named Bobi has been now declared the world's oldest living dog and the oldest dog ever. Guinness World Records confirmed on Thursday, which was the last day we did the show. Last week.
Wait.
Last week.
If dogs... You know the thing about dogs?
17 years or something, yeah.
7 years.
Oh, 7 years. 7 years.
That makes this man 210 years old in his age. If it's every 7 years, that makes this man 210 years old.
Yeah.
Get a fact check me real quick.
I'm trying to do a quick.
I'm not great at math. I just did 7 times 3 and then added a 0.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
His dogs are like, I've seen civilizations build up and crumble before.
Well, he's like, I'm gonna outlive my owners.
Yeah, he's like, I was here before and I will be here after.
Yeah. I outlive the queen. Okay. According to Guinness, Bobi was born on May 11th, 1992, making the purebred, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Refugio do Aleteno? Alenteno. I tried to pronounce this out earlier, and I thought I had this one, and I didn't say it like it. Tejo. Alentejo. Refugio do Alentejo. You know what that breed is? No. Well, apparently, okay, well, anyway. 30 years and 266 days old as of last Thursday.
He's almost at round 3.
Yep. Bobi has lived his whole life in the village of Conqueiros in Leiria, Portugal, with the Costa family. Sorry, Guinness says. Lionel Costa describes Bobi as one of a kind, adding that the family is very happy and grateful to life for allowing us, after 30 years, to have Bobi in our daily lives. Now, a lot of these are like Spanish words.
I was going to say, good luck pronouncing that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to get through it all. But anyway, in addition to Guinness verification, Bobi's age has also been confirmed by an animal hospital, his veterinary that he went there.
I think it's Is it literally the System of Information of Animal Companions?
Yeah.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, a database for pet authorized by the Portuguese government and managed by basically the
The
veterinarians in Mexico.
Yeah, the National Syndicate of Mexican Veterinarians.
Yeah. The country's National Union of Veterinarians. There it is. Okay. So the world's oldest dog title has changed hands several times in the last year. So just last year. So if you think you've read about other canines who have taken the crown for the world's oldest living confirmed dog in recent months, you're not wrong. And I know that because I've read it a couple times while I was looking for good news while we weren't actually doing good news.
For like 7 different dogs.
Right. Sometimes dog owners don't realize their pet is the oldest until others make the news, leading to new verifications and confirmed record holders. Just 2 weeks before announcing Bobi as the world's oldest living dog, Guinness gave a 23-year-old Chihuahua mix from Ohio, Spike, the title. So Spike held it for a little bit. A slightly younger purebred Chihuahua from Florida, whose name is Toby Keith. No space.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith also held the title for more than once in the past year. How has Bobi lived so long? A calm, peaceful environment, his owner says. Costa, 38, was 8 years old when Bobi was born, so the two grew up together, Guinness said.
Could you imagine someone gonna be like, huh,
Yeah.
you're still here?
It's kind of like the Clifford the Big Red Dog, you know,
Yeah,
where they're
exactly.
like, how much do you love him?
He looks like he's not even one of those dogs that like has reached the point of his age where he needs to be carried around. He looks like he's still just waltzing around.
Yeah, he does for sure. I feel like he does. Hopefully he lives to be like 60 or something. That'd be awesome.
If this dog outlives me, I'm gonna be massively upset.
Yeah. Bobi is special because looking at him is like remembering the people who were part of our family and unfortunately are no longer here, like my father, my brother, or my grandparents. The dog outlived all of them.
The dog has outlived half this man's family.
Yeah. Lionel Costa told again, okay, he's happy. So he credits much of Bobi's longevity to living in a calm and peaceful environment. He also told Guinness that the 30-year-old pup is very sociable because he grew up surrounded by many other animals and has always preferred eating human food, which is kind of funny because so do I. So do I. Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it too. Which Costa soaks in water to remove most of the seasoning.
You know, I don't do that though.
I said Costa. I keep saying that. It's Costa. Okay. Bobi breaks record for the oldest dog ever. In addition to being the world's oldest living dog, Bobi is now also confirmed to be the oldest dog ever.
So he's got 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The world's oldest dog ever and the oldest living dog right now. Here is a picture of him as a pup. Or pup-ish. I guess I really don't know how.
Say, what is that, 2010?
Yeah. Guinness says the previous oldest confirmed dog was an Australian cattle dog, Bluely, who died in 1939 at 29 years and 5 months old. Bobi taking the titles of the world's oldest living dog and the oldest dog ever was a surprise for Costa. I never thought of registering Bobi to break the record because, fortunately, our animals have always lasted for many years.
He's like, this is just normal.
Yeah. Bobi's mother, Jira, lived to age 18, and another one of their dogs, Chicote, lived to be 22. Regular veterinarian appointments and exams for Bobi, this says Bobby, but shows that he is doing well for his advanced age, Costa told Guinness. However, due to his age, walking is difficult, and his eyesight has worsened, so the pup rests more than he used to.
Well, it makes sense.
When you're 200 years old, I mean,
yeah, when you're 210 years old,
you're allowed to take breaks. According to Guinness, the average lifespan for a purebred Rafario de Alentejo is 12 to 14 years. The breed is known for protecting livestock, the American Kennel Club's notes.
This man is more than double.
It is.
His average breed
more
lifespan.
than double. If you're going to do it right. And no one does it like Bobi.
You know, that's fair. Nobody does it like Bobi.
I feel like this is going to be a thing. Nobody does it like Bobi. Is it like a pizza crust thing called Boboli or something, right?
There's Boba, like the tea.
But what isn't Boboli? Like a self-rising crust
Oh,
that you make
yeah,
here?
wait.
Which is kind of funny because we have National Pizza Day.
Yeah, right?
I just happen to think that. Okay. My next one is definitely a nerd alert award.
Yeah, nerd alert.
Yeah. Definitely a record that I wouldn't have wanted to get, although I had the opportunity to graduate. I had the opportunity to graduate a year early,
Okay.
and I didn't take it because I didn't want to leave. High school was like, you have your friends, you have social things, you have stuff to do, structure, place to be.
I got so much more sleep than I ever thought I would.
I didn't want to leave. I was having a good time there. I need to fix this because it feels like it's getting worse.
Is it looser?
It feels like it's getting worse. But yeah. So this 9-year-old from Pennsylvania, there he is, right above my computer screen. Is the youngest high school graduate ever at 9 years old. Yep. 9-year-old Pennsylvania David Belugas has become the youngest high school graduate ever after receiving a diploma from a charter school in Harrisburg. WGAL-TV reports. This is from NBC.
Okay.
Sorry, my first article came from USA Today, I think, with the dog. Okay. Belugas, we're just going to call him David, okay?
Okay.
David recently received a diploma from Reach Cyber Charter School, which he took classes at remotely from his home in Bensalem in Bucks County. Bucks County.
Bucks County.
Bucks County. He has a special interest in science and computer programming, which makes sense since he did his entire school on a computer, right? And hopes to be an astrophysicist so he can study black holes and supernovas. They didn't bog me down. They also advocate for me, saying he can do this, he can do that, David said of the school. Okay? I had to get outside of the box, playing pillow fights when you're not supposed to, throwing the balls in the house. He's a 9-year-old with a brain that has the capacity to understand and comprehend a lot of concepts beyond his years and sometimes beyond my understanding, added his mother, Rania. David is also training for a black belt in martial arts and enjoys playing the piano. So if he's training to be a black belt, I'm assuming he's a brown belt?
Probably, right?
It doesn't say what kind of martial arts, but can you imagine he's like a nerd, graduates early, and can still, beat people up?
And then he plays a defeat tune for them.
Just
Just dances on them. Just dances on their grave.
Okay. Only 2 other individuals have graduated high school at an age of 9 or younger, according to oldest.org. The only person to graduate younger than David is Michael Kearney, who currently holds the Guinness record for the youngest high school graduate when he graduated at just 6 years old in 1990.
Where's that guy now?
I don't know. 6 years old, graduating high school? I mean,
Yep.
I'm not even sure I could form whole sentences at 6.
The question is, how many grades do you think
I'd
he
be like,
skipped? Do you think he just went straight to
I
senior
want
year?
a cookie.
You think he just went like straight to senior year in high school? He was like, yeah, I'm good.
I feel like, I don't know. Can you imagine?
Because high school is 4 years, and they made
Them
him take all
6-year-old
4 years.
So what I would have done, I would have taken a class of like actually intelligent kids, right?
Yeah.
Put them down to take a test. Have this 6-year-old walk in and just test at the same time. And they're all like, what? Yeah.
If they made him take all 4 years of high school to get his points and everything that he needed, all of his credits and whatnot, that would mean this man strollered into freshman home period.
Yeah.
In a stroller.
Right.
It was just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. I think I feel like he probably completed his, ACTs, SATs,
Yeah.
like using a crayon.
I feel like this dude's first word was astrophysicist.
Okay. Getting back. Since graduating from Reach Charter, David has already completed 1 semester at Bucks County Community College. His family is currently looking into the best fit for colleges and universities. Am I going to throw my 9-year-old into Harvard while I'm living in Pennsylvania? Said his father, Henry. No.
Dude, Dude, that would be the biggest slap in the face for everyone in Harvard. Just see a 9-year-old waltz into class.
I feel like this is just me. If your kid is good enough to go to Harvard,
At 9.
I feel like at 9, if you graduate and you got it all and you want to be an astrophysicist and all that stuff, of course, maybe Harvard isn't really the place to go to be an astrophysicist. But whatever it is, I would try to get this kid in there. And
You know what?
let him buy you a
Yeah.
pink Cadillac later. That's what
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, all right, I'm sending you to Harvard.
Yeah.
You owe me a Harley.
Yep. What do you guys think? Oops. I'm looking to see if anybody else is on. We added Alien Gathering.
Alien Gathering.
Welcome to the show. So my next one is kind of cool too. We didn't. Oh, oops, not the next one. Sorry, my second. Two from now. Maybe we'll come back to this.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's maybe come back to this if we got time. What is the time? Where are we? Oh, we got time. We got time. We got time. Kind of.
We're good. We're only like
So-
halfway.
So, this has been like an ongoing thing. I've actually talked about this a couple times.
Okay.
So this is sort of like a public service announcement, and also sort of like just a bunch of fact gathering information about, nerd alert.
I'm waiting now.
So you know about daylight savings time, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the history of daylight savings?
No.
Yeah, I kind of sort of did.
No, the sun's lagging.
I feel like it was like a farmer's thing, and so I actually looked up, got a lot of information.
Okay.
But something special about daylight savings time this year is supposed to be the last one.
Oh, they're actually getting rid of it?
They're actually getting. Oh, news to you! News to you! News to you! When does daylight savings time begin in 2023? And what to know about springing forward this year? I always got mixed up with the springing forward and fall back, and I have family members who just couldn't get it. Spring forward, you go forward 1 hour, and
Yep.
fall back, you go backwards 1 hour. And
Yep.
I still had people that would ask me like, well, technically, wouldn't you be?
No.
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 And then you have to be like, well, if it's actually 4 o'clock now, it'll actually be 5 o'clock later, and look at the sun, because it'll be 5. What does that tell you? And then they'd be like, oh, oh, yeah, you can't think it up. That's just the thing. As sunsets are finally happening after 5, it's actually really cool. I saw
It is.
some really cool sunsets.
Yep.
The other day, I saw probably one of the coolest sunsets I've ever seen. I was driving home, and you know how you get like those different colors?
Yeah.
Well, it was a perfectly clear evening,
Okay.
and it was rainy-ish,
Okay.
so it was like dark. It seemed like it was dark earlier, but they had the sunset. So when you looked off into the horizon, it looked like you were looking into a black hole, but you could see this darker rainbowy color across just the bottom 2 inches of the horizon. And it was like awesome looking.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, it was awesome. It looked like kind of like the end of the world, but it
Yeah,
was,
that's the first
it was
thing I'm like, what?
it
You
was
see
awesome.
the end on the
It was
horizon?
awesome at the same time. Yeah. So sunsets are finally happening after 5, and the halfway point of meteorological
Well,
meteorological winter behind the Chicago area. It won't be much longer until clocks spring forward for the start of daylight savings time. While the U.S. Senate approved legislation last year that what is my problem today? While the U.S. Senate approved legislation last year that would have made daylight savings time permanent, the bill stalled in the House committee and was not voted on prior to the end of the previous Congress.
ooh.
With this year's springtime change just over a month away, here's what to know about the changing of the clocks for 2023. When does it start? Well, under the provisions of the Energy Policy Act of 2005, which amended the Uniform Time Act of 1966, daylight savings time will begin on the second Sunday in March, which in 2023 will fall on March 12th. So it's just around the corner. When does daylight savings time end? Well, it would end at 2 a.m. on November 5th, 2023, but it's not going to this year. Well, I guess it could. It feels like our government, whatever, kind of dilly-dallies around and other things, so I don't know. But this should be the last time it changes for good. They're going to keep it. Okay, so what is daylight savings time?
What is it?
What is daylight savings time? Daylight savings time is a changing of the clocks that typically begins in the spring and ends in the fall. It is what is often referred to as spring forward and fall back. Under the conditions of the Energy Policy Act of 2005, daylight saving time starts on the second Sunday, ends on the first Sunday in November. Those days clocks either shift forward or backwards 1 hour, okay? But it wasn't always this way. Clocks used to spring ahead in the first Sunday in April and remain that way until the final Sunday in October. But the change was put into place in part to allow children to trick or treat in more daylight. That's what the 2005 was about. So it's not about the farmers.
About the children.
It's about the children. I always thought it was about the farmers, which I thought was kind of weird because I see the farmers sitting out there in their $2 million combines doing it like at 1 a.m. And they've got like lights that are so bright you can see 2 days into the future.
They've got a schedule to keep.
Yeah. And so I figure like it doesn't really matter for them.
Those lights are bright, though.
They're super bright.
They're really bright.
They're super bright. In the United States, daylight savings time lasts for a total of 34 weeks, running from early to mid-March to the beginning of November in states that observe it. Some people like to credit Benjamin Franklin as the inventor of daylight savings time when he wrote in a 1784 essay about saving candles and saying early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But that was meant more as a satire than a serious consideration, which I'm really disappointed about.
Yeah?
Because my grandparents used to say, well, Benjamin Franklin said, if you're going to bed early, then you'll get up early, then you'll be healthy and wealthy and wise. And that was a trick to get me to bed early.
You got played.
I got played, but I thought I was going to be just like Benjamin Franklin.
The game was rigged from the start.
I feel like I could have graduated at 9. And then 9 came, 10 came, 11 came, and I didn't graduate.
Did you get struck by lightning?
No, because I was smarter than Benjamin Franklin. Okay. Hearing that it was a satire makes me kind of disappointed. Germany was the first to adopt daylight savings time on May 1st, 1916, during World War I as a way to conserve fuel. The rest of Europe followed soon after. The United States didn't adopt daylight savings time until March 19th, 1918. It was unpopular and abolished after World War I. On February 9th, 1942, Franklin Roosevelt instituted a year-round daylight savings time, which he called wartime, that lasted until September 30th, 1945. Daylight saving time didn't become standard in the U.S. until the passage of the Uniform Time Act of 1966, which mandated standard time across the country within established time zones. It stated that clocks would advance 1 hour at 2 a.m. on the last Sunday in April and turn back 1 hour in October. Okay. States could still exempt themselves from the daylight savings time as long as the entire state did so. In the 1970s, due to the 1973 oil embargo, Congress enacted a trial period of year-round daylight savings time from January 1974 to April 1975 in order to conserve energy.
Fair enough.
What's the deal with the Sunshine Protection Act? Remember you just asked me that?
Remember learning about that in school, the Sunshine Protection Act?
I feel like you just asked me that last week. You were like, "Hey, what's the Sunshine Protection Act?"
It's possible that I did.
I think you said, "What is the deal
with the Sunshine
Protection Act?" Well, let me answer that for you because I didn't have an answer for you.
Yeah, you didn't, but now you're informed.
Right. Under legislation unanimously passed by the Senate last year known as the Sunshine Protection Act, the seasonal changings of the clocks would effectively be eliminated in the U.S. except for Hawaii and parts of Arizona, which we don't really care about. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Maybe Hawaii. Arizona, though? Meh.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Cook an egg on the sidewalk.
Despite passage in the Senate, the bill has stalled in the House, where it remained in a committee until the expiration of the previous Congress. Overall, thoughts on the potential shift vary. The Sunshine Protection Act was introduced by Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, who suggested it would reduce crime, encourage kids to play outside, and lower the risk of heart attacks and car accidents, which is true but I ain't gonna say anything about that because this is good news.
Okay.
There's some strong science behind it that is now showing and making people aware of the harm that clock switching has. Rubio said on the Senate floor in March, NBC News reported. A 2020 study found that fatal traffic accidents in the U.S. rose 6% in the week after daylight savings started. Other studies have found that the switch to daylight savings brings small increases in workplace injuries and medical errors in the days following the change. That hour where you shift and you're just like, you feel like you lost an hour of sleep.
It said that this dude needed his transfusion at 2 a.m. You look at the clock, it's 3:10.
It makes it not right. People are just not right with that 1 hour. And you know who hates it the most? Your dog. Because you're like, hey, it is not 8 o'clock in the morning yet. And the dog is like, yes, it is.
I'm like, look,
Yes,
I can read.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. It is. Where's my food?
Pretty much.
They're
yeah.
mad. It's time to go out. It's time to go out. Okay. A 2019 study, meanwhile, found that the risk of heart attacks went up in the weeks after the clock sprung forward. Through other research, although other research did not find such an increase. The research overall is mixed, however, and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine supports the opposite switch to permanent standard time, as research shows that bodies function best within more sunlight in the morning. I've received calls from constituents who have preferred permanent standard time because they have safety concerns for children who have to wait too long in the dark during winter hours for school bus, says Republican Representative Jan Schakowsky.
Schakowsky?
Yeah.
Schakowsky, I think.
I should know. Jan is of the Illinois 9th Congressional District and a Democratic member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, where the bill is currently sitting.
Dude, I don't even know who she is.
Yeah. Jan said she has also heard from constituents who prefer longer daylight hours as a result, support permanent daylight savings time. While the Congresswoman says there does not seem to be a consensus among voters, she stated, "We know that the majority of Americans do not want to keep switching the clocks back and forth." I do not.
I say you're the first. This is the first time I'm hearing that people don't want to.
Now, the only time I would be okay with it is if we fall back in the fall and get an extra hour, and then next year we also fall back.
We just keep going back more and more and more. We're going to lose days eventually.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
In 24 years, you'll have lost a day.
I'm fine. Fine. We are fine with that. We are fine with that. That's
just keep rolling back.
That's what my constituents want.
Keep getting more sleep.
According to the AASM, which is based in Illinois, standard time may be more aligned with our body's internal clock. The daily cycle of natural light and darkness is the most powerful timing, cue to synchronize our body's internal clock. AASM says, when we receive more light in the morning and darkness in the evening, our bodies and nature are better aligned, making it easier to wake up for our daily activities and easier to fall asleep at night. Daylight savings time disrupts our internal clock, leading to sleep loss, and poor sleep quality, which in turn leads to negative health consequences.
I was about to say, calm down, hippie.
Yep.
It helps our bodies be more in touch with nature.
More populous cities. See? Just the concept of losing this hour.
More popular cities.
In a month is already causing me anxiety, okay? More populous cities would be impacted by darker mornings as well with permanent daylight savings time. Sunrise wouldn't occur until 8:20 a.m. in New York City in January. In Los Angeles, sunrise in January would be at its almost 8 a.m. And in Minneapolis, sunrise would be nearly 9 a.m. Which states observe daylight savings time? Well, nearly every U.S. state observes daylight savings time. We already said that. Some Native American tribes don't observe it either, okay? What is standard time? We already know that, so I'm going to skip over that. Which is better?
You got a lot of information.
Yeah. Let's just go to... Did I just go backwards, I think?
I legitimately can't tell. You have so much information here.
Yeah. So, and I've been saying it wrong. So, how do you say it? Is it daylight saving time or daylight savings time? I've always said daylight savings.
Yes. I've always heard daylight
But
savings.
according to thesaurus.com, which I use a lot because it makes me look really good when I find bigger words, say the same thing
Just buy one.
in my letters. Yeah. The correct answer is actually daylight saving time.
Yeah, when I'm trying to get 500 words for a letter.
Yeah, singular. Right. But I like to do plural because it makes it sound like it's got more to
Well,
it.
because and when you talk about your bank, you don't talk about your saving. You talk about your savings.
Right. Well, according to Thesaurus, the S at the end of the phrase may have caught on because the plural of saving is often used as refer to money, for example, a savings account. Yeah.
I didn't even look at that.
Then there's the question of the hyphen. The explanation continues. Some leave it off while others include it. We hyphenate because daylight hyphen saving together often modifies the word time that directly follows, which is more of a nerd thing too.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nerd
There's
stuff.
a lot of nerd stuff. Lots and lots of nerd stuff. Okay, so. Okay. Love to give a shout out to Violet's TV.
It's the homie.
Oh, yeah.
It's the homie.
I don't know if you can say that. Give a shout out to another TV viewer and Violet's TV, which might be related. I'm going to go with like these people know each other.
The internet is a big place.
I feel like when we had Some Sav and Super Sav, and
Yeah.
they were all related too.
Yeah, you think?
I feel like there's a related. Give a shout out to another TV viewer and Violet's TV. Thank you for joining us.
Nice.
Hopefully, you live in one of the states that supports daylight saving time and all that. Otherwise, you're gonna love this next article.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I feel like we did this story. Either we did this story. Maybe we didn't. I feel like someone sent a story in and it was too old, and I ended up not doing it because it wasn't current.
That has happened before.
The crazy thing is, and you know, because you've seen the stuff that I scroll
Yep.
through, like I have lots of articles and I only
Yes.
get through like maybe a third
Yep.
every week. Okay. So this girl here, I'm going to put her picture up there. The girl on the right, she was 5 years old and she emptied her piggy bank for earthquake relief. And now she just won $48 million at the lottery. Yeah.
How do these correlate?
It's like good karma.
Fair enough.
Like
Fair enough.
you put something good out, and then later on in life, it's like, you know what? You deserve $48 million.
I was like waiting for like the segue.
This is
and it just
why I
didn't
do
happen.
this show, because I want to put out so much good karma that, you know, I accidentally
You accidentally
stumble
win
upon
$48 million.
$48 million when your grandma's like, hey, well, maybe I should read the story.
Maybe you should read
Maybe
the
I should
story.
read the story. Maybe I should read the story instead of just telling you the highlights. Well, delightful story from Northern Ontario saw a 5-year-old girl's good karma wait 13 years to reward her. Juliette Lamour won the state's second largest lottery jackpot in history, Canadian $48 million on her first ever try. Local news from her home city of Sault Ste. Marie revealed a touching side of the story that at 5 years old, she made a very big act of charity, and the suggestion that her generosity has been rewarded is impossible to resist making. It was in 2010, and the island nation of Haiti had just been ravaged by an earthquake. Aid organizations from across the world rushed to help the people of the obliterated country stabilize and recover.
I know Haiti got hit hard in that whole thing, but do you have to say their country got obliterated?
It was obliterated. And I feel like even today, the Haitian people are still kind of like struggling, and it's been like 13 years or something. But like sometimes things happen so bad and you just like can't. It's just tough.
What's that? I'll never be able to financially recover from this.
I feel like with as much money you sent in, never mind. So,
I'm not gonna say anything.
yeah. Okay, at the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds hockey team ice rink, a branch of the Canadian Red Cross had set up a table to help raise money for Haiti, and Juliette and her sister Sophie were determined to help. They upturned their big pink sharing piggy bank that day, out of which came $61.38.
Hmm.
Then last week, Juliet stepped forward as a young woman to claim the $48 million prize at the Ontario lottery offices. She told S00 Today that she was on her way to bring her grandmother some ice cream. Grandfather. I called him on the phone. I don't know why I had grandmother stuck in my head. See, it's good that I didn't tell the story from memory, right? I called him on the phone asking what kind of ice cream he wanted, she recalled, and he said to me, "You just turned 18. Go buy a lotto ticket and test your luck." So I did. I got to the corner store and I'm in my car and I didn't know how to buy it, she said, laughing. So I had to call my dad. I said, "Dad, Grandpa wants me to buy a ticket. How do I do it?" He's like, "Oh, just go inside and get a quick pick." Fortunately, her father is a financial advisor, so it's unlikely to burn a hole in her pocket. So she wins the money. Her dad's a financial advisor. I think she's going to be set for life. And that's just kind of a cool story.
Next day, "Hi, Grandpa. What kind of ice cream am I getting?" He's like, "Can I get ice cream?"
Can you imagine? You're like, I don't know. On a whim, you just go and you buy a lottery ticket, okay?
Like, what's the question? Like, do you quit your job and just live off that for the rest of your life?
I feel like if you invest it properly,
yeah,
that's exactly what you do. That's exactly what you do. Yeah. Now, depending on what kind of person she is, maybe she enjoys where she works and she could take the money and literally give the whole thing away.
Maybe.
But I would buy multiple houses and then rent them out.
And make more money.
And just live on that. Yeah. Okay. My next one is kind of a cool article too. We already did a dog article, but we haven't done an ocean one yet.
Okay.
And what's your favorite sea animal?
Sea bunny.
A sea bunny?
Sea bunny. It's a thing. They're the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
A sea bunny.
Imagine a puffball with bunny ears. That's a sea bunny. I'm not kidding. It's a real thing. I know. I know.
Okay, I'm going to look this up.
Sea bunny.
Sea bunny.
Sea bunny.
Whoa!
It's a puffball with ears.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. And they come in all different shapes and colors and sizes.
You cannot have a sea bunny as a pet because they only live for a few months to a year.
Yep.
It's not satisfying to have them in your aquarium. They are not approved to be kept by pets by marine authorities.
And the article is, "Are sea bunnies poisonous?"
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, no. I love sea bunny.
Okay, I'm going to give you that. Sea bunnies are a thing and kind of neat.
You learned something new today.
Kind of neat. Well, I used to like we used to be bottlenose dolphins. And then it was like, oh, killer whales are even better. And then I found out killer whales are technically the largest member of the dolphin family. They call them killer whales.
You just went from liking dolphins to liking a bigger dolphin.
Yeah. They say they're whales, but they're not. They're actually dolphins.
They're just dolphins.
And then I found out that killer actually means that they're killers.
Yep.
And then I was like,
maybe
I'll go back to the other dolphins again.
Yeah.
So my next
and then
article.
You watched Dolphin Tale.
And my dolphin tail. So my next article. Let me see if I get this right. My next article. This kayaker, right, is singing in hopes of attracting a beluga whale.
Okay.
And he attracts a beluga whale.
Hello, beluga whale.
So he's actually singing. I had the video. You can Google it and watch it. But he's actually singing a funny little song about a beluga whale. And this beluga whale shows up.
Like, "Hey, yo, I heard you talking about me."
Yeah. A kayaker got more than he bargained for when he set off hoping to encounter some beluga whales. His innovative approach of conducting marine biology by singing at the top of his lungs actually managed to draw in a pod of these smaller whales who began to interact with his kayak. After a period of elation and disbelief, he threw on a scuba mask and began to dive and swim near the animals, singing as he went. In the most incredible interspecies duet one is likely to hear, the belugas actually begin to sing back to him with their chirps and trills. I should have saved the thing, but go to YouTube, type this in, and you can hear this for yourself. It's really neat. Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe it wasn't YouTube. Go to YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find it anyway.
You'll probably find it anyway.
Yeah. We'll leave it to the scientists to make the determinations of what exactly these intelligent marine mammals were doing, but beluga whales do communicate via high-frequency sounds that could resemble singing in the auditory environment of the ocean. YouTube commenters noticed, nice it was for the belugas to join in, but that rightly detailed that unfortunately the little whales shouldn't take the strange singing man home. Human beings belong in the wild.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
So it was YouTube. So you're out there and you're like, I would like to see some, belugas. Yeah. So I'm going to be like singing.
I loved the
title.
At the
top of my lungs.
Yeah, I loved the title of your article because it sounded, he sings in hopes of attracting beluga whales. And then was surprised when beluga whales showed up.
They're like, we're here.
Like, we've been listening to you,
We've been listening to you the whole time.
We've been here.
So I remember, I liked David Hasselhoff.
Okay.
Growing up.
I know.
I only liked David Hasselhoff because he was the Knight Rider.
He was the Knight Rider.
That was it.
He was the Knight Rider.
And no joke, they had a really... Never mind. So anyway, at some point, David Hasselhoff, in the Knight Rider show, he sings like a couple of times. And I'm like, oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, okay, cool.
Well, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, that's cool. Just,
Go back to doing the action stuff, please.
Don't quit acting. And so he decided to make a record. It didn't catch on, clearly.
I wonder why.
Yeah. But in Germany? Oh!
David Hasselhoff is big
They
in
loved
Germany.
him.
David Hasselhoff is big in Germany.
Double, triple platinum.
He does commercials for them all the time.
He went on tour over there with the Knight Rider car. Now, had I known he was going to go on tour, I'd have listened to the songs here.
Now you're like, hey, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah. So, what's that have to do with
how are you going to segue into this? I'm super interested.
I'm not segueing. I talk about singing. Oh, so these beluga whales are like, ooh.
Yeah, these beluga whales are like, hey, it's David.
This guy's awesome. This guy's awesome. Hey, guys, let's go.
Guys, look.
So they pop up. They got their waving their fins in the air like they just don't care, right? And they're like, sing along.
Come on, man. Sing along, bro.
You know when they do the, oh.
Yeah, right? Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to think of I almost said something.
I was saying we almost got DMCA'd.
I'm trying to make up a song on the fly that doesn't have anything to do, and then the belugas are like,
Sure, whatever. Whatever
okay.
Works for you.
Let's just move on to the next article. Nope, broke it. I broke it. Okay.
All right.
So this one's actually really, really cool. This California man, builds a solar-powered tricycle with stuff in his garage.
I mean, yeah.
Yep, here's the picture. Look at that. There we go. Here's a little kid. No gas is no problem for one Stockton, California inventor who created a solar-powered tricycle that's really catching on. Milton Butler, not to be confused with Milton Bradley. Do they make the games?
Milton Bradley?
Yeah. Don't they make like the Game of Life?
Dude, I hate the game.
Milton Butler invention uses 2 batteries and a small electric motor gathered up in a normal plastic storage bin to power 3 bicycle wheels and is allowing his family to save money on $5 per gasoline. $5 per gallon. Gasoline. He says he built the contraption based on something he saw in his dreams and out of things he had lying around in his garage. I don't have any electric engines in my garage.
Doc Emmett Brown, calm down.
Yeah. I fell and I hit my head on the toilet. And I thought of the flux capacitor.
Yeah, and I thought of the flux capacitor. Marty, come on.
Yeah. I feel like if they could hook this thing up to a car and push it to 88 miles an hour,
He'd probably do
I
something.
want to see this girl on the front of this thing at 88
He'd
miles an hour.
probably do something, honestly.
He says he built the contraption based on something he saw in his dreams. Okay. I'm an inventor, and that's all I know how to do. I invented something that people can use everywhere, says Milton Butler of his idea. It came to me in my sleep, and I saw how the sun is always out. So I went out and got my boys, and we built something that we can use from the sun. I just thought of something funny. I'm sorry. This guy, this guy's like, there's a whole bunch of sun, right?
Yeah.
And now we're doing away with daylight savings time.
I didn't even think about that at all. I didn't think about that once.
Congress!
Yeah, we built a solar-powered tricycle. All right, now let's do away with daylight savings time.
Butler told KCRA that a friend of his asked about the trike on behalf of a man from the other side of the world in the Philippines who complained about $11 per gallon of gas and 14 hours of sunlight per day.
The Philippines beat California?
Yeah, they beat him. In December, Butler was hoping to drive the Ducky, as he called it, downtown to City Hall and hopefully show off his newly patented device. The name comes from his late wife, who did everything perfect in Milton's eyes. Currently, Mr. Butler is in the funding and development phase, looking for investors who are committed to creating a better world. Go ahead. Just say it. I know you were going to say it, and I knew you were going to say it from the time that it came out. Just go ahead. Ask your question.
You know what? For once, this one time, I will not. I will leave it.
You want to. Just go ahead and ask.
I really do. I can't.
Nope, go ahead.
I can't do it. No. I couldn't do that to you.
It comes from his late wife. Go ahead. I thought of the same thing, too. I don't have an answer. I can look it up.
You know, why don't you ask it?
I thought of all the possibilities.
Why don't you ask it, bud?
How did you come up with that name? Did she waddle?
Yep.
Did he? Does the trike? I don't know.
Yeah, it's called the Ducky because we're ducking the gas bill.
Okay. So, let's do this. This guy here, whoops, let's put this up. This guy, metal detectorist unearths pristine gold pendant linked to Henry VIII. Henry VIII.
Really?
I am. Well, I'm not. I am not. People say it is like winning the lottery. It's not. People actually win the lottery. When was the last time a crown jewel was unearthed? Those were the words of Birmingham cafe owner Charlie Clark, who after just 6 months of metal detecting as a hobby, found the treasure of a lifetime. Elbows deep in a field in Warwickshire, after a day of turning up junk, Clark found a 300-gram necklace, a 24-karat gold that is believed to have either belonged to or commissioned as a present for King Henry VIII and his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. You can see her initials right behind my
Game
head.
of Thrones?
Yeah, I know, right? Despite seeming too good to be true, the curator of the Renaissance Europe at the British Museum, Rachel King, confirms that the find is genuine. But what was it doing buried in a field in Warwickshire? And what is its connection to the king and his wife? Are questions that, as of now, have no answer. In the British Museum, we've got the largest collection of objects from the early Tudor periods in precious metals. None of them are anything like this, said King, explaining that the archives and collections were scoured for any scrap of evidence that might place the pendant and chain in the king's possession. The pendant bears the initials H and K on one side. Further evidence of its royal designation comes from the design on the front, a Tudor rose formed by precious stones, and a pomegranate bush. The latter, the symbol of Catherine's house. Lastly, there's a pun.
There's a pun.
There's a pun on the other side that reads something I can't pronounce. A blend between the translation of toujours and all yours, being the old English spelling. Okay. One hypothesis of its origin was that it was made by a wealthy courtier who to be a present for them, but that it was perhaps never delivered or stolen. Another theory was that it could have been made for one of the tournaments which Henry VIII was so fond of putting on. The pendant was deemed treasure under the UK's Treasure Act, which allows the government to buy archaeological and historical finds for fair market value based on metal and antiquity trades. 96% of all treasure finds between 2020 and 2022 were found by metal detectives. I like how they call it that.
Yep.
The sum has not been released, but Mr. Clark said it will be split with the landowner of the field in which he found the pendant and spent to give his son a first-class education.
You know what I just realized?
Yeah.
There's a chance that he was just in this dude's field. Like, he didn't say anything. He was just in this dude's field. And he just... Because rather than being like this dude, you just hear someone screaming in your field, you come outside, you see this dude shaking around a gold locket.
Yeah. I just realized that we're way out of time, and I've got to get going. Because I have to be in the city. And I should have left like 10 minutes ago. But anyway.
Oh, well.
So, quick note. They found plant toxins, which are fatal to sugar canes, but they are really good as a new weapon in an antibiotic fight against bacteria for us.
So you found an antibiotic.
It kills sugarcane, but it's good for us.
Fatal sugarcane, but us, no, we're great.
Yeah. We're good. It's actually good for us.
We're not some plant.
Yeah. And then we did this article about this startup.
This is why we need daylight savings time to continue, because the more in touch we get with nature,
we would have lost
the more we'll be like the sugarcane.
We did an article about this guy who invented the thing to clean up the ocean. Remember him? And so I had an article here. The co-founder of an Airbnb just donated $25 million to support his nonprofit to clean up the ocean. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
You mean like Airbnb and you're like, well, you know, all these people have rent their houses out.
Yeah.
Let me clean up the ocean. I'm going to rent out the ocean.
Rent out the ocean. That's all I have. You have anything to say before we go?
No.
I just saw the time.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on the lockets and the metal detectives.
Yeah. I thought I had plenty of time, and then all of a sudden we just lost like a half an hour. So, we'll see you guys next week, next Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep, CST.
And see you next week. Have a good day.
See you.
Bye.